Good morning. It is kind of overcast today. It's Tuesday. We are in, I think I'm Schaumburg. I don't know. Schaumburg. Schaumburg, Illinois is a suburb of Chicago. And I have a class today, a programming class, basically how to use a tool at the IBM, at one of the IBM buildings today. So Tracy came up with me last night. We drove up, so it's about a 4-hour drive. It took us about an hour and a half to get out of Indy. The roads closed, and I had to stop at a client. And so it took us a while. It seemed like it took us forever to get there last night. And we stopped and had dinner. She wanted some lobster because, I said before, she got to have most of her teeth pulled out because they've been, from all the chemo and things over the years that she's just been through, her teeth kind of just pretty much rotted out. So she really don't have any teeth right now. And so she wanted some shrimp and lobster and some stuff she could eat. And so we got that last night. And I'm just out walking. Of course, it's an hour different here. So there's a little trail around the little pond here in this back area. Looks like there's some apartments and whatnot. So yeah, I was reading the article this morning because I'm going up to this class, and I was thinking about, pretty much in every trade, you have to keep your skills sharpened. You have to keep learning new things. I mean, technology is in pretty much everything, unless you're like going to be a grocery bagger at the grocery store or something like that. I know there's jobs where you don't have to. Pretty much any career jobs, you have to keep sharp, keep up to date. And yeah, so I was reading this article, and it was talking about, training your employees. And he said the only thing worse than training your employees and then having them leave is not training them and having them stay. Which makes sense. I mean, we don't have any employees, but it's kind of the other reason I'm up here. It's twofold. I'm up here to, one, learn a little newer things, learn a little bit of the newer stuff, and two, I'm kind of looking for a programmer that I could subcontract to help with our workload. I've been trying. I found a few people, tried them out a little bit. It took me a while to figure out, because I've worked in the tech field, and I worked for my dad for 21 years. I think 21 years. A little bit older than what Bailey is, and she's 20, so I'd say about 21 years. And I did it more when I was a little younger too. I remember going with Dad and helping him do little things here and there. So I've been around it for a long time, and I never really had to have employees. Dad, on the other hand, when he first started, of course, computers and programming and everything was new, pre-internet, and it was going gangbusters. Everything, all these companies were needing programs written because it was a new thing. You didn't have this canned software back then. Everything had to be custom written. And then software packages started slowly to develop, which is kind of how our software packages have developed over the years. And I think he said at one time he had 9 or 12 programmers on staff at one time, and he didn't really even have to work. His job was to watch over the programmers, manage them, which seems seems like it would have been a nice job to have, I guess. I'm sure it can be stressful because the more employees you add, the more overhead you add, the more you have to keep bringing in. And so, you know, when I was on, we had a couple employees. One had been around a lot longer than me, several of them. And, you know, we got to the point where we didn't have the work coming in. It was just dead, kind of around the whole economy crash in the early 2000s. I can't remember exactly when. Somewhere between 2000 and 2010. It's funny, that's 10 years. It's funny how you get older, yeah, 10 years, somewhere between the 10-year mark. You can't remember exactly when. But, so yeah, we had no work hardly at all. I remember making up PC flyers and like trying to sell used PCs and mailing them out to people. And we kept having to borrow off our line of credit every week just to pay payroll. And that went on for a while, too long really, till we finally just said we had to cut, you know, one guy that had been there longer than me. And, you know, he was a good friend and everything. It just, we didn't have the work. And so it kind of seems like it's making a turn again, where we're starting to get a lot more work, and I can see a lot more work coming on the horizon. And I need to start setting myself up because I've got so much more work than I can take care of. I could work 15-hour days and still not get it all done. Maybe I can get it all done, I don't know. But I don't want to work like that. So that's part of the reason I'm up here taking this class. It's a class on using a tool called RDI, which is a programming tool that you use to modify programs, write programs, and write code, and basically develop software. And this is a tutorial on how to use that program. And so who's going to be there? Programmers specifically in my industry, specifically for my niche. And so yeah, I don't know who's going to be here. Hopefully I can make some contacts, try to find, like I said, I found a couple people before, and I didn't really have a way to gauge how productive they were. And so I gave them a couple projects, and the productivity took a lot longer than I could actually bill my client for. And so it was costing me money. So it's going to be a kind of a trial and error. I let this first one go way too long. So it's going to be a trial and error till we get there. But so yeah, any what am I thinking? Any career, any trade, anything that you are in business, especially if you're in business for yourself, that you have to continually improve, continually sharpen the tool. Like you remember that Stephen Covey book, the seven Habits of Highly Effective People? And at the end, I think one of the chapters was sharpening the tool, and that's what you have to do. You have to, once you get going, once you get things going, you have to keep that tool sharpened, because if you don't, it's going to wear down and you're going to then really be in a big mess. So yeah, I guess that's what today's about, keeping yourself up to date in your business. And I have walked around, I don't even know where I'm at now. I don't even know where I'm at. I gotta find my hotel. I'm somewhere. Ah, it was that pond over there. That's why there's two ponds. So, Tracy, we got the room for 2 nights. Schaumburg is a little bit northwest of Chicago, and so I should have booked this for 1 night. And after my class, we could have went down into Chicago. But then now I remember now why I didn't book it for 1 night, because she would have had to been out by 11, and she wanted to stay in the room the whole day, because I think this class it goes through lunch, I think. So Anyway, when she gets done, we're gonna go down into the heart of Chicago. I think I'll take her to the Navy Pier that me and Shelby went to, see if she likes it, because I think over fall break I'd like to do a whole family vacation with like Bailey, her boyfriend Gavin, kind of feel like his son-in-law now, Gavin, Shelby, Ian, Tracy, probably Tracy's mom, maybe even my mom and dad if they want to go, and maybe just take a quick trip up like this area, Chicago area, or Lake Michigan, somewhere for 3 days. We haven't done that since the kids were really little, back before Tracy got sick. And Tracy, back when she I'm trying to find my hotel. I think I found it. I think it's that way. Yeah, right before she got sick. Can't remember. Yeah, sorry. This is 2018, so it was 6 years ago. So 2011, 2012. Yeah. But yeah, she was the one that paid for our last family vacation, pretty much. She wanted to go to Disney World, and I told her, I said, okay, you come up with the money and we'll go. And that was back when she was crocheting hats. And she crocheted, I'd say, at least 100 or more hats. And she was selling them for like 15 or 20 bucks a piece. And she made over $2,000 selling hats. And so we went to Florida, went to IMGM, went to, I think, Disney World. I can't remember exactly. Went down to the beach. The beach wasn't too fun, I remember, because it was so foggy and a little bit cold because it was over New Year's. But yeah, we rented a house, had a nice little community there. It was a good time, good memories. And so I just like to do it one more time before Bailey gets fully into adulthood and familyhood. And hopefully she can find the time to do it. Hopefully. Yeah, this is the hotel right here. So that's my walk. Not very rigorous today, but 15 minutes, 12 minutes. So yeah, I'm gonna go upstairs, get in the shower. Let's see, which way do I go? I'm gonna go upstairs, get in the shower, get cleaned up. Oh, get this. So we get to the hotel. Unloading it. I'm like, there's my keyboard. Where's my laptop? Tracy, where's my laptop? I need my laptop. I have to have my laptop tomorrow for class. I'm thinking, okay, did we went in somewhere, couldn't find the key to the van and we didn't unlock it. I was like, somebody stole my laptop. The first thing I think is, when's the last time I backed it up? And yeah, you would think, being in the tech world, being in the tech industry, I would back up very often. I would be the person that would back up all the time. No, it's probably been 6 months to a year. So I'm panicking a little bit. And then she said, it's when we went into Family Leisure, remember? And that's the client I went to. I stopped by on the way and I was like, oh yeah. I took my laptop in case I needed it, and I set it down, didn't need it, and then we left. And so yeah, I left my laptop up in the room. It had everything on it I needed. So what do? I have to go to Walmart at 10:30 last night, look at their crappy laptops. I actually found one pretty decent, but I had to pay $600 for it. Like I told you before, I don't buy new products too often because I don't want to pay that new sticker price. I would rather pay for last year's model and somebody else take the depreciation hit. So even on the computers, I usually find computers that are a few years older. That's, you know, get somebody that replaces theirs every 2-3 years. So I had to find one that had a decent processor, enough memory. I had to pay $600. I think it was an i5, had 4 gig of RAM, and then some type of SSD drive that it used for part of the RAM. I think that's what it was. I didn't look exactly. It was part of the RAM. So, because you can use part of your hard drive as RAM memory, and that's what it was. There was so much gigabytes, like 12 gigabyte little SSD chip used for RAM. I don't know why they wouldn't just put more RAM in it. I think that's what it was. So anyway, I get it back, get connected to the Wi-Fi, log on to our website, download our VPN, download our client access program. Then this morning I look and I need RDI, so I find the trial and downloaded it. So I'm getting ready to go up and install that. So I need to get off here, but yeah, make sure you back up your computers if your data is important to you. If not, yeah, don't worry about it. I fixed so many computers where their data wasn't backed up, failed hard drives, and that I had to spend a lot of extra time on because it wasn't backed up. And you know, people panic. Usually when you back it up though, your hard drives don't fail. So anyway, this is our little backyard sanctuary. Pretty, very nice. Yeah, Schaumburg, I looked, it has a population of like 70,000, 73,000, somewhere around there. I was trying to compare it to something back closer to home. I guess you compare it to a suburb of Indianapolis, like Carmel. So, anywho, Tuesday. Everybody have a good Tuesday and just keep on keeping on.